This is just awesome. It's just exactly like the same as if you're playing on your controller. I don't even feel any lag at all, especially on the way this game is played by a turn-based battle. You can even use this as your streaming machine if you imagine that. What's up YouTube, this is your boy G, back in another video. Today we're just gonna unbox this new thingy that I purchased online from our favorite store Lazada there. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. I've just been meaning to purchase something that I can use to play my PS5 games, my Yakuza, my favorite Yakuza game, while lying in my bed or in the room, about to sleep and so on. I don't want to go to my office or gaming room. But yeah, I saw this. This is the Razer Kishi version 2, right? Universal remote or universal mobile gaming controller for Android. Now, looks good. If you notice, it really looks like the backbone, right? The one exclusively for iPhone as of the moment. But since that is exclusive for the iPhone, I cannot really purchase that. Let alone, I've heard that the app for that, the accompanying app for that, has a subscription, right? Like a monthly, yearly subscription. So that's a no-go for me. Good thing Razer came up with this device right here that is available for both iPhone and Android. So I got one for me because I'm using S22 Ultra and we're going to test it really quick here. Let's go ahead and check the box real quick. On the back, of course, design. So the writing right there. Compatible with Razer phone and of course Razer phone 2, Samsung Galaxy S8 to S21. Now again, I'm using S22 Ultra, but we're going to check that out. Note 8 to Note 10 Plus, Google Pixels, and all other Android device. So let's go ahead and check it out. Razer's pretty good, especially in their packaging here. It's like bright green. I really love the combination of the black and the green colors right here. Now take note again, this is the version 2, right? There is a version 1 that is extremely popular, but it looks entirely different than this one. So if you prefer that, it's definitely different than this. I don't have that, unfortunately, but this is how it looks like. By the way, let me put it here. This is how it looked like, and the new one looks like this, right? So they're definitely different. But let me go ahead and set that aside first. And you see here two rubber adapter that will also protect your mobile phone from scratches and whatnot. Nothing else from the box. If you lift this foam up, okay, looks pretty cool. It's just an all in black. Ooh, there's a sweet sticker that I can put on my laptop right there. I love that. All right, a manual in all black and about silver writing. Awesome. This is the Razer Kishi version 2. Now if you notice, it's pretty weird though, because it looks almost identical with the backbone, right? With the backbone PlayStation app backbone, but wow, I just realized how light it is. It's ridiculous. If you notice, this is the big differentiating factor of Razer Kishi version 1 versus version 2, right? Or version 2 to version 1. So if you notice, this device or this controller is very clean, right? Free from writing and whatnot, because the writings are all in the middle, which is pretty smart, right? Razer Kishi version 2. So they put all of the writing and even the branding there, I believe. See that? It's a very discreet Razer logo right there, just in the middle, hidden when it's closed. That's pretty good. Now on the back, if you notice, there's also some textured part here and a little bit bumped up, right? So it will sit properly in your hand. It feels good. I really love it. So that's awesome. Now let's go ahead and check the buttons real quick here. From the top, you do have the traditional L1 and R1 buttons, if you notice, R2 and L2 buttons. And then there's additional M1 and M2 buttons that are remappable to any buttons you like, except those above that are mentioned already. So that's pretty good, because for example, you're playing like this and you don't want to like remove your hand from this right joystick and just press Y or something. Then you can just Like do that and then press it real quick like that, right? Which is awesome. All options always good, right? They sound like mouse button though. It feels different. So I do have a controller there, of course, a proper controller for PlayStation 5, which is extremely heavy right now because of this battery pack. But the buttons are really like buttons. Like I can feel the actual rubber and the buttons colliding. Linear buttons on the L2 or linear triggers, but on this one, it feels like it's mouse click, right? Which is pretty good actually in the feeling, and you can even hear it. And then the triggers are pretty soft, but there's definitely resistance in them, and they are both linear, so that means they're really good, right? You can use them on driving, bows, and things like that. They're just not like a not on and off button. Now the M1 and M2 buttons here are a bit protruded, if you notice, so that means that you won't accidentally press them, right? But if you want to press them, you can definitely press them easily. I think this is the thing that I hated the most of this one is the analog joystick, right? Because if you notice, they look like Nintendo Switch, especially the small one, right? And I kind of like hated those because they feel that they're gonna break, right? Because using this big ass finger of mine, it looks like they're gonna break in prolonged period of time. So hopefully it won't. That Nintendo Switch of mine, or actually I purchased that for my kid, for my daughter, and up until right now it's still working anyway, so that means it's pretty good. But yeah, I wish they could have like went into this route, like a big one with protection on the side, because this one you can just like kill it like that and it feels really rigid. And I believe they've done that on the Kishi one, that's why it's also extremely popular. But on this one they went away. I cannot understand why. Maybe to make this a little bit seamless, right, and cleaner look. But yeah, it's like that right now. So the travel is not that really much, but it works. Now also, oh, actually the pressing the button of them feels really good, right? So the L3 and R3 buttons are very sturdy and very tight, so it's not like clumsy or anything. That's really, really good build though. So from the left side, you have a couple of buttons here. So you do have this 3 dots that will pull up some options, right? And then underneath, you do have like a shortcut from screen recording or screenshot, which is appreciated, right? You always have you always have some time that you would like to just all of a sudden record or something. At least you have some quick buttons there. On the left, directional buttons. It feels different again. So this is again on my controller. I'm just benchmarking this or using this as a comparison. So this button, like this, the one that we already know from all the time since we begun gaming. It's kind of like a rubber contacting underneath, right? But this one, I think there's no rubber underneath of it. It's buttons again. I hope it will really last long. It's not gonna break or anything. It's like micro switches. Remember, if you open up a controller before, they're just like motherboards, with copper, and then the buttons are actually like rubber, and then there's like a contact. I don't know if it's a magnet or something, contact material in the middle, where when you press it, it's gonna contact to those connections, to those copper, and short them, right? On this one, they feel like they actually have like an actual micro switches inside per button. It feels good though, right? It just feels different, but very responsive. And if you notice, those buttons are protruding a little bit, so if you press them, they're not really gonna be depressed so much. So that means that it's very responsive, and you will definitely feel them, right? The feedback is extremely well. All right, now on the right side, you do have the face button here that is, whoa. This even feels more different than this. This one, I don't know if you can hear that. They feel like mouse clicks, right? I think they feel like this, like the L1, R1 buttons, as if you're like clicking a mouse button. All right, let me see if you can hear that. That's how they sound. It's, they feel good, but again, it's very different than the mushy feeling that you have here. All right, I cannot say yet if it's really gonna be good in prolonged period, right? If it's gonna be sturdy or whatnot, but nonetheless, it feels good, right? At least you have that feedback of clicking like a mechanical button. so you definitely know if you're pressing something or not. And also, they're protruding a bit, and if you press them, they're not really depressing being they're not being depressed so much again that they're just micro switches, right? That's a mechanical button inside. Now, of course, you do have the right analog stick there. This is not a power button, by the way. This is the shortcut for the Nexus app that you will download for free, of course, on the Play Store. And it's like the quick launch for the app, which I will show you later on. And of course, you do have the hamburger or the menu button there, which also feels different, a little bit tighter than this, but that's definitely some kind of like a switch as well. All right, now in the middle part of it, you see there's some rubber thingy there, so you can use that. You know, if your phone is just a normal phone without casing, you have to use this one so that this will be like the case of it, protecting it from scratches. Because you see, there's both protrusion right on both underneath and above to protect your phone from scratches. Now, you can definitely replace that with this thinner one. If, for example, your phone have you know, some Spigen case or some transparent silicone case, you can use that. But on mine, I'm using a very thick boy there. You know, if you notice, I'm using a very thick Nilkin case to protect my camera. If you notice, shout out to Nilkin, if you're watching. You know, bucking a man, right? But I'm using Nilkin case, and yeah, it's pretty good. But the problem is it's extremely thicker, if you notice, right? It's adding an unnecessary thickness to the actual case. I mean, you know, of course, the gaming or using this is not really the purpose of that. But if using that, even you use this small one, I think it's not gonna work because that is just so thick, right? It's just so much of an excess material. That means that you won't be able to clamp it like so, you know, capture that, because this is removable, right? You can just quickly remove it here like so. All right, and then replace it with this smaller one, for example. And then once you have the smaller one, you ought to put your phones like that, and that's a no-go. Like what I said, so it's very thick, right? But if you're using Spigen case or some normal phone case for your S22 Ultra or for other phones that is not using this camera mechanism there, like a protruding camera, that will work, right? But let's go ahead and try this on my phone without a case. So plug it in. All right, that's the USB, and just pull it like ever so slightly here. Also press it a little bit, of course, for the USB to dig deeper there. If you notice, you do have two holes there, right? Two punch there. And it's basically like a bypass for the, or reroute, right, for this speaker. So that's good because your speaker will now play and then will output it above in front of you, which is pretty good. Now, if you notice, those rubber adapters are now protecting our material. Camera is not contacting, right? You might think that it does, but it doesn't. And it's basically holding the phone now, right? Even on the bottom side or on the top side. So use those rubber. It's exactly perfect on the fitting here and there. Yep. So it's being held by the rubber on the middle. So that's how it looks like if you got that S22 Ultra right there. And this is the PlayStation PS5 controller, for example, if you want to compare that on size and everything. But that's how they look like. Take note, by the way, this mechanism right there doesn't have any battery, right? This contraption is not using any battery, unlike the Bluetooth device that you're using. So it's just utilizing the buttons there and the actual battery of your mobile phone. Now, you do have a pass-through here for the USB Type-C. Remember, those are Type-C, or that is Type-C. You have a charging port, so you can charge this. However, take note that this is not a fast charging, right? A fast charging port. This just charges around 12 to 15 watt, meaning you might deplete your battery while you're gaming, even if it's charging, right? So just take note of that. But me, I don't want to use my mobile phone while fast charging it and being paranoid that's just gonna explode in my face. So I'll just use this guy until it drains the battery and be done with it, right? Sleep, get over it, touch some grass, things like that. Now, by the way, if you go back to the shortcut there in the Nexus, if you see this, it's gonna allow you to go to the Facebook Live or YouTube, basically stream. Right now, you do have options there. If you click that options, it's gonna allow you to set it as streaming, remapping, and basically nothing else. Right? Just two important stuff though. But I really like the streaming because remember, even PlayStation 5 doesn't have link to Facebook, right? So in order for you to stream your PS5 gaming sessions, you will have to turn on a PC, have an Elgato or remote play there, pull up Streamlabs, or whatever you use, and then basically use a lot of electricity, right? But this one, you can now stream your gaming pretty quick using this one. You can even use this as your streaming machine if you imagine that, right? Like for example, you're still playing your PlayStation 5 using your own controller there on your gaming room and whatnot. You can just fire it up, connect this to your secondary remote play, right? And then just let it sit like that, somewhere and streaming on Facebook, right? So it's capturing your remote play and it's streaming it on Facebook, and you don't even have to need to use a PC or a laptop, right? So that's gonna save you some electricity right there. I'm basically going to use this for PlayStation, right? For PlayStation 5, but the remote play default, right? Default app is actually not supporting any other controller than the official or than the DualShock, right? Than the DualShock Xbox controller or the official again app for the backbone. So it's not working, right? If you notice, they are not moving, which is kind of like a bummer, right? Because that's the official free app and it's not working. But what you can do actually is to just go download a certain app, right? Let me just go here. That's the Play Store. There's a certain app called PS Play, PS5 and PS4 Remote Play, and this is supposedly supporting controllers such as this. Now, this has some cost in it, like 280 pesos here. So let me go ahead and try this first. All right, so I managed to connect it. It's asking you to connect it locally and remote connect. I think a local connect is just your local private IP, remote is via the internet. So let me try the local connect and see if it's actually going to detect my PS5 that is just on the same network as my mobile phone. And it seems that it did connect it. Yeah, definitely working. Definitely work. By the way, press this Nexus app again. That game is being identified as a game. So as you can see, it's a PS Play. So if we launch that, there are a couple of menus. There's actually a lot of menu. So maybe later. So there's a lot of menus here. You see, there's a lot of settings they can do right on this app. So this is the PS Play app again in the App Store, and you get a lot of settings they can do. You can go to streaming, and that will give you tremendous amount of options, right? So it'll give you resolution, FPS, bit rate, automatic remote connection, real-time decoding, video stream format, ignore display, don't drop frames, compatibility, enable picture-in-picture. Man, there's a lot of options here that even the default PlayStation app doesn't have, right? Like it doesn't have that, I swear. So in audio, you can even check it with headphones and other version. Now, on streaming, it will also allow 1080p, 720, and whatnot. So you can just select 1080p for PS5 and PS5, PS Pro only. But we can select 720p and then change the FPS to 30, for example, make it a little bit, cooler, right? And or like easier, right, for the device. You do have the bit rate there, automatic remote connection, a lot of stuff, right? Just a lot of stuff. I just saw that and I wanted to show you that it's pretty cool, right? So, and also it's extremely fast. So look at this. I'm gonna connect to my PlayStation 5 right now. All right, finding console. Bam. Look at how fast it connects, right? It's extremely fast. It's wow. All right. So we can go ahead and run around here. Oh, all right, let's fight some mobs here. Where are you guys? Let's just wipe them all. Ari, go ahead and kill them. Kill them all, Ari. Man, this is definitely playable on remote play, and this is just awesome. It's just exactly like the same as if you're playing on your controller. I don't even feel any lag at all, especially on the way this game is played by a turn-based battle. Wow, I love that. All right, so this is the place. If you notice, I think I'm currently on. Oh, okay. So let's fight this again. Just one last fight, and we're gonna conclude our video on that. I think we're gonna wipe him out using Kasuga here. So let me try Seiko. All right. All right, Kasuga, go ahead and wipe him all. Wipe him all, Kasuga. All right, sorry for the lights. A lot of lights on my room right now, but and if you can hear that. You're dead, guys. GG. GG, GG. All right. Pretty good, guys. Like, this is awesome, man. I'm seeing myself using this again and again, playing my Yakuza game just on the comfort of my bedroom again, like what I said. But that's just awesome. But that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Click the like button if you like this video. Comment down below if you have any questions or anything. You know I answer in the comments, so let me know. Hit me up. I'll definitely respond. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel yet. I review and unbox stuff like this, so if you want to support that, just go ahead and subscribe. But that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, and see you on my next one.